Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Pineleaf and Gondor. We have gathered some soldiers for Aragorn, and let's see what he thinks about finding 2021.
Speak to my other commanders. Learn how large a host we have assembled.
How many men were the heralds able to reach with their voices? More than 2,000, you say? That is very good, and matches my hopes. These other commanders have also done work to gather soldiers for the march. Speak with them, and see how large a host we have assembled. It need not be enough to wage war against Mordor, but it must be large enough to threaten battle. Right. Well, Ibrahil, how many did you manage to gather?
This must be the greatest jest in all the history of Gondor.
My swan knights have scouted the nearby lands of Gondor for fighting men. They report that 3,500 will march for Mordor with Aragorn. It is a fine total, as for any might hope, and proves the courage of Gondor, so fresh from the battle and still hungry for more. But this must be the greatest jest in all the history of Gondor, Pineleaf. We march to assail the Black Gate and the impenetrable land of Mordor, and with fewer men than might have been formed just a vanguard of its army in the mighty days. It brings to mind a child threatening a mail-clad knight with a toy bow, or a buzzing fly seeking to sting the man working in the hot sun. The Dark Lord will smile and knock down the child, or squish the fly in his palm, and that will be the end of it. What else is there to do but to laugh at the jest, Pineleaf? Well, what do you think, Aylmer? Have anyone still surviving after that big battle?
Rohan will not abandon her friends.
Much has been asked of my men already, but Rohan will not abandon her friends. Many among the Rohirrims were unhorsed during the battle lately ended, and they will still be war-worthy and will not let them stay with their weapons. 500 of these will follow behind me, and I will lead 500 on horse alongside. So that's 1,000 from the Rohirrim. Alright. Elfhelm, do you have any to contribute to this cause?
Eomer King has given me command of the main force of the Rohirrim.
Some 3,000 still on horse. It is to the west road we will go, to hold against the enemy that is still in Anorion. Alright, that's 3,000 for there, 1,000 for Eomer, 2,000 for our stuff. It's a decent number, I guess. Oh, let's see, where is Mithrandir? Ah, well. The wizard is... Oh, yes, of course. The wizard is where he needs to be. And no other place.
I think Imrahil has wrongly judged the mind of the Dark Lord.
Yes, he believes that Aragorn's army will be a stinging fly to the forces of the Dark Lord. He is not wrong that these 7,000 are a mere pittance to the numbers of Sauron's houses within the Black Lands, but it seems to me that Imrahil has wrongly judged the mind of the Dark Lord. Yes, we will go to sting the Dark Lord, but he will not squish us for all our buzzing. No, he will seek to trap the fly and to take the sting, all unaware of our deception. On that deception all our hopes rest. It is that secret fly that bears the most dangerous sting of all for Sauron, and let him remain blind to it until it is too late. Yeah, great jest indeed.
Our secrecy was born of necessity, but now it must end.
We have moved in secrecy ever since I came to know you, Pineleaf. It was a secrecy born of necessity, for we needed every advantage we might attain in our struggles against the Dark Lord. Whispered counsels gave rise to hidden errands and close-guarded conspiracies. But no longer. While Frodo continues his quest in the shadows, Aragorn strides into the light as he must draw Sauron's gaze to him, and away from the real purpose, with every means at his disposal. Let the departure of Aragorn's army be a loud one, and snare the attention of the Dark Lord. Wars are fought with weapons, but this battle for Sauron's eye will be fought with noise and tumult, with musical instruments and those who wield them. Walk the Pelennor and find men who wield trumpets of silver and brass. They will announce the coming of the king as loudly as often as they can, and perhaps this loud departure will serve as a shield for Frodo and Sam as they walk into the Black Land. After you gather 4 trumpeters, travel to the western gate of Osgiliath, and Aragorn's army will begin its march. I will see you at the eastern gate of the city after the army is on the march. Right. So now, let's go and find some trumpeters. Are there any around here? Hello? Hello? Ooh. What have we got down here? Good day, sir. Do you know how to play the trumpet?
This trumpet belonged to my friend Araneth.
You seek trumpeters to proclaim the presence of Aragorn, now that he has revealed his true claim? I am not as practiced with as some others in Gondor, for I've only lately begun to learn the skill. But I would be honored to use my meager abilities to announce the arrival of my chief and lord. My friend Araneth bore this trumpet on his person when he was slain in Tor Morva. I picked it up to save it from the hands of treacherous men, and thought that I might teach myself to use as a means of remembering poor Araneth. I will use it to proclaim the coming of King Elessar, and it will remind me of the friend that gave their lives to this day might happen. So let us find a few more musicians, and we will be ready. I think I found another trumpeter. Hello there, I am recruiting trumpeters to announce the march of King Elessar.
I fought in the battle and saw more than my share of death.
Sometime during this battle, during the waning hours, I lost both my sword and the trumpet I carried on my hip, and suffered a knock upon my head with a heavy club. When I came to again, my sword was gone. It must have been taken by a foe, or perhaps a friend who thought I was slain. My trumpet, though, lay at my feet, battered and bruised as I was, but still whole. I was taking this as a sign that I was now a trumpeter and not a swordsman. I will be honored to wind my horn to announce the coming of King Elessar. Let its sound strike fear into the hearts of our enemies, and give them such a fright they will never again threaten Gondor. Alright. So now let us find the next one, who I think is down in this direction. So let's hurry it up. Let's see what we can find. Ah! Here we are. Oh, excuse me. Hello there. We are seeking, some trumpeters.
I will be pleased to sound my horn on behalf of the king.
I was inside the city when our friends from Rohan joined the battle, and my heart soared to see the charge. So inspired was I that I mounted a horse and followed the Prince of Dol Amroth and his knights through the gate and into the throng of battle. I was near at hand to Theoden, king of Rohan, when the great beast descended and spelled his doom. I saw then the most beautiful woman I had ever seen, or ever will see. She stood between her fallen lord and the dreadful foe, and slew that terrible creature in defense of her king. A great evil took me, and then I swooned. I think I dreamed, but I cannot remember the details of it. When I awoke, I was in the houses of healing. Friends tell me I was saved by the hands of a stranger, of curious visage and few words. I would find this man and give him my thanks, but he has left no sign. There are whispers that King Elessar may have worked his healing arts in the houses, but who would believe such a thing? No king would trouble himself with my hurt, surely. In any case, I will be pleased to sound the horn on behalf of the king. Well, if you knew the truth of that, then you will know it was the king that saved you there. And so therefore, I think it is most fitting that you sound the horn for the healing arts of the king. Yes, for the kings have returned, as it is proclaimed. And here's another one. Hello there. Would you... Oh, you even have your trumpet with you. Good. Would you be willing to sound that to herald the coming of the king?
To think I have lived to see a king once more in Gondor.
I have mastered many musical instruments, but I am most skilled and loudest with the trumpet. It will be my pleasure to sound mine at volume on behalf of the king. Oh, to think I have lived to see a king once more in Gondor. My heart leapt at the thought of it. You will have no problem getting me to start. Well, getting me to stop will be another thing entirely. Yeah, alright. Now, let us head over to Osgiliath. Last time I saw Osgiliath, we were plunged into darkness from the dawnless day. And it was filled with orcs and trolls and easterlings and Haradrim. A very unpleasant place to be. Now looks striking, albeit a bit ruined. Quite a bit ruined. So therefore, there's going to be a great deal of work that'll have to be done if this city is to ever be restored. But it is in our hands again. So now let's see what we can find here. Hang on. These guys look familiar. Hello there! Long time no see!
Oh, hello. I did not think that I would see you again so soon.
I had rather hoped my father will let us remain a while longer in Imlath Melui, but when I heard that the battle was over, he made us depart at once. The flowers of Imlath Melui are breathtaking and beautiful, and the roses are quite a sight as well. Yes. Alright, yes, My father promised Lord Ogmore that we would bring our stock of Chemidrol liquor to the houses of healing as soon as we were able, and we have done so. Also following our writ with Galingrab. But now my father has to look an eye once again, and he has made us come to Broken Osgiliath over the Anduin instead of heading for home. Perhaps you could suggest that he and I should return home, or maybe if that's too far, we could turn our wagons in the direction of Imlath Melui and make sure that the ladies of that place fare well in our absence. Okay. Found a few too many lasses, have you? Hello, how are you doing? Everything going well with you and your son?
I am proud to say my fortunes have changed for the better.
Yes, any good friend of Lord Angbor is a good friend of mine, Pineleaf. But of course, you were my friend first, I dare say. Yes, I have not forgotten our encounter in Tarlong's Neck. Not at all. We met at a low ebb in my fortunes. Any man will admit that, but I am proud to say that those fortunes have changed for the better. And all because of my son. Yes, he has always made me proud, that one, and I defy anyone to doubt it. We did need to leave Imlathmilui in a rather hurry, though, but there's no fault of my Nethadon. I did not like how many of the fair lasses looked at him in that place. Yes, I deemed that he should the battle have kept up for any longer, I might have lost an apprentice and gained a daughter-in-law. And that does not bring in any coins. No, we left the place at the first opportunity, and now another opportunity has presented itself. Do you know what that opportunity is? Nails, Pineleaf. It just so happens that with tremendous foresight, my clever and enterprising son Nethadon has caused us to come into possession of 2 barrels full of nails, as I am sure you remember, of course. And do you know what is in great demand following a battle? I presume you're going to say nails. That's right! Nails of the very sort we possess in such great quantities, and which we can sell to the craftsmen repairing the city and the bridges at a better than the usual rate. Just doing my part as a man of Gondor, my friend, and it allows me to set up my own shop in competition with Galagam. Well, that is the merest coincidence, yes. Oh, there are still enemies hiding in Osgiliath, however. If you were to defeat some of those foes, I would most appreciate it. Right. So, let's go and see if we could find some foes in here. Anyone here? Anyone here willing to fight? I don't have any nails on me, but I've got a spear which should be reasonably sharp, at least in battle. I guess a spear would be more useful in battle than a nail in any case. Well, are you sure there are orcs in here? I don't see any. Yep. Not an orc in sight. Right? Let's go to the side. Maybe if I were an orc in a city like this that's been taken by the free folk, I might hold on. I smell something. Oh, an orc. Yeah, just the type of orc I'm looking for. One that needs to kill. That's the type I'm looking for. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, good. Now let's take care of a few more of these, and then we'll be ready to talk to Mithrandir, right? We have dealt with those orcs, and I have found Mithrandir. Hello, Mithrandir.
You have caused an impressive amount of noise.
Yes, more noise than your size might indicate, I must say. The trumpeters will announce the arrival of King Elessar as his army marches through Ithilien. None will miss these tidings. Sauron will not fail to heed this march, Pineleaf. The Prince of Dol Amroth has rightly pointed out the size of this army is too small to pose a serious challenge on the host that lies within Mordor. But that in itself will draw his gaze hither. He will think that Aragorn possesses the ring, and believes that it will bring him the power he needs to overthrow Sauron. He thinks this because that is the action he would take, were the positions reversed. The army will march slowly, but it will march loudly, and that is the best gift we can give Frodo right now. I hope beyond hope that he is able to make use of that gift, and that it does not come too late for him. We hope so. It will soon be time to depart Osgiliath and head on to the next stage of our quest. But I still have a captain to take care of, and perhaps I'll have time to take a little rest in our next episode of Pineleaf in Gondor.